Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, it is I, QZ, back again with another video, and it seems like Dr. Disrespect has finally come back to YouTube and decided to respond, and I'm gonna tell you right now, it is not looking so good for him. Basically, for those of you that don't know, Dr. Disrespect was banned off of Twitch for supposedly unknown reasons. It wasn't until this year earlier where we finally found out why, and it was because he was messaging a minor. And his own words, by the way, it got inappropriate sometimes. Twitch banned him, he then sued, and then basically there was no wrongdoing found out by the court on both sides. However, he was still banned from the platform. But that's basically the short version of events. If you want a more in-depth analysis of what happened earlier this year, I recommend watching my original video because I'm not explaining all that shit, so go watch that. But he came back earlier in, I think, August or in the middle of August, and basically he started, I guess, taking shots at anyone who plays games and responded to people making fun of him and even blocking people, which, yeah, go figure. I didn't... Who would have thought he would have blocked people calling him a pedo or making jokes at his expense? But anyways, he then also deleted his original confession for some reason, which I will get into a little bit. But also, he announced a stream that he's going to come back to YouTube and supposedly explain everything. And that's what happened. On September 6th of 2024, he came back and didn't really explain shit. I'm gonna show little bits of it, but don't expect any receipts, any DMs, any legal message, like legal casings, like from the legal case. Just his own word of mouth.
For almost 4 years, champs, the public demanded to hear from the doc regarding the Twitch suspension. I guess since you all missed the point with my personal statement, maybe it's time to tell my side of the story. Huh, champs? You see, there was a lawsuit pending, and as part of that arbitration, all parties were not allowed to speak publicly about the case. I respected those rules. My lawsuit against Twitch was eventually resolved, as you all know. But even then, as part of the settlement, all parties were still prohibited from speaking publicly about the case or the settlement. However, if one side violated that confidentiality, then the other side could respond. And again, champs, again, I respected all the confidential obligations. But apparently Twitch's own disgruntled employees didn't feel the need to abide by those same obligations. Cody Connors, ex-Twitch employee, wasn't even involved, leaks Twitch's reported reason. Years later, Cody, why do this? What was the point? This was settled professionally. And you, knowing how black and white the internet is, you decided, you fucking rat, to leak the reported reason Twitch banned me in 2020. You see, you don't know shit, and it was obvious from your tweet. You didn't have any firsthand knowledge of my dispute with Twitch. You said that I got banned from Twitch because I was sexting a minor through Whisper's messages? Do you even know what the legal definition of sexting is? I do. And yeah, I used Twitch's Whispers, but trust me, I wasn't sexting anyone. You also said the word minor, Cody. I even made sure that word was emphasized in my statement, edited, etc., just to make sure these so-called journalists would pick up on it. And boy, oh boy, did they ever, champs. When you and all these so-called journalists, Cody, fired off your tweets, did any of you consider that the Twitch user may have been over the legal age of consent at the time of the messages? Let's set the record straight. I never intended to meet this user ever. We never made plans to meet at TwitchCon or anywhere else, and in fact, we never met in person ever. They reported on all this based on leaks from 2 former Twitch employees, one of whom was supposedly on the trust and safety team. If these anonymous sources worked on the trust and safety team at the time of my Twitch suspension in 2020, then you would hope they would tell the truth. But apparently that's just too much to ask. If these former trust and safety team members, and by the way, I know exactly who they are, actually had firsthand knowledge, then what they conveniently left out is, 1, Twitch's trust and safety team, the same employees that decided to ban me, internally admitted that the whisper messages were not sexting. And 2, Twitch's trust and safety team, the same employees that decided to ban me, internally acknowledged that the whispers did not constitute child sexual abuse material CSAM. I'll say it again. Neither I nor the Twitch user exchanged any sexual graphic messages or images. Cody Connors and these other anonymous sources are trying to paint a picture that I was exchanging sexually explicit messages and photos with this Twitch user. That never happened. I even used the word inappropriate, purposely. And look at how it's defined by everyone, champs. Huh? Including these defaming articles. I'm sorry, but mutual bantering with inappropriate jokes taken out of context should have never led to me getting banned from Twitch in the first place. On June 21st, 2020, my ex-Twitch partner manager learns that I exchanged whispers with a Twitch user. And I say ex-partner manager because for years, this guy didn't do anything for me, my community, or my channel. For years. We got zero front page love on the website. He was never on my channel. He didn't follow me on Twitter. He wouldn't even inform us about Twitch rival tournaments. We're talking about the 2-time Twitch rival tournament. Oh, I'm sorry. Would you want to play in it? We got zero support from this guy. And it was just so obvious that he carried a grudge against the 2-time. So after we signed with Twitch in 2019, we asked for a new partner manager. And just a few months later, that ex-Twitch partner manager is directly involved with getting me banned. Coincidence? The Twitch user tells this ex-Twitch partner manager that they do not want to report anything to Twitch. But this ex-Twitch partner manager encourages the user and even directs them to file a report directly with Twitch, even though the user told him clearly that we never physically met anywhere and that no photographs were exchanged. On June 24th, 2020, Twitch's special operations team receives and reviews the user's report. They find no issues and determine that it did not warrant any further escalation to Twitch's law enforcement response team. He finds out that no further action will be taken, so what does he do? He personally escalates the report to a friend on the Twitch's LER team. The LER team, remember, that's the Twitch's law enforcement response team. He escalates the report to a friend on Twitch's LER team. So a day later, on June 25th, the LER analyst pulls the entirety of the whisper messages and begins discussing them with his director of the LER team. Mind you, this director is on vacation at that time and does not have access to their computer or work files. Let me just remind you, I went through a big time arbitration, okay? And, you discover a lot of stuff. Mind you, this director is on vacation at that time. Within less than 1 hour, this LER analyst and his director have made the decision to suspend me from Twitch. Twitch submits a report to NCMEC. You guys all read those little articles, huh? The NCMEC. Twitch submits that report. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. Guess what? As far as I know, and over 4 years have passed, they didn't do anything with the report. As far as I know, they didn't escalate Twitch's report to law enforcement. Mind you, the same people that made this decision admit internally that the messages did not constitute sexting. The same people that made this decision at Twitch admit internally that the messages did not warrant any child sexual abuse material charge. Twitch makes this decision to terminate my contract and ban me while admitted they did not perform any legal analysis of whether the messages exchanged were illegal in any way. Twitch makes this decision to terminate my contract and ban me while admitting that they never investigated the age of consent in the jurisdiction where the user's messages were sent and received. Twitch makes this decision to terminate my contract and ban me without ever interviewing me, the user, or any other third party, including the partner manager. It's unbelievable! But these former Twitch employees that claim to have firsthand knowledge, they just don't have a clue. They didn't report any facts. The judge in the case determined that the whispers were not illegal. Take a look at some of these horrendous acts of Twitch streamers that were never banned. I've got some examples right here. A streamer that frequently used the N-word while publicly streaming, which constitutes a violation of Twitch's policies if accompanied by hateful intent. Twitch scheduled a meeting with the streamer to ascertain his intent to determine whether his conduct was a violation of Twitch's policies, ultimately determining it was not a breach of Twitch's policies. Example number 2. Streamer was reported for discussing doing things with deceased animals and discussing pedophilia, all while live streaming. Never suspended, but instead given a multi-million-dollar contract. Example number 3. Streamer was reported for a sexually explicit stream involving children and telling children to send Snapchats of them playing with themselves. Never suspended, but instead, given a multi-million-dollar contract. So obvious that certain Twitch executives, employees involved had personal biases against the doc and used all of this as an opportunity to terminate my contract.
Now let's stop right here for a moment, because the idea of Twitch mishandling this situation could be very well possible, all right? Twitch has mishandled many situations in the past. Either they've banned people unfairly, they've only given some people who should be banned a slap on the wrist, or they do nothing at all. And also, the idea that all Twitch streamers, have skeletons in their closet could be very well true. I don't deny that, all right? I really don't trust any of those Twitch scumbags, all right? But really, what does this have to do with anything? Because this just seems more like, oh, well, why am I the one getting in trouble? Because these guys are getting away, but why am I getting in trouble? That's really what it seems like. He's trying to shift the blame, or, trying to deflect from what really everyone's asking for, the logs. What were these messages? What were in these messages that made Twitch make that, decision? Because Doc says that the messages weren't sexual, they weren't any nudes exchange. It never got too graphic, but yet in his earlier response, he said it got inappropriate. And what were those things taken out of context? I feel like these should be released. However, this is Doc's response to the idea of releasing the logs.
People want to show the message, release the messages, show the messages. What are we in second grade?
That's right, he won't release the logs, alright? Probably because we're not 12-year-olds that he... Now, I don't know how Twitch Whispers really works. I don't know if it works like Instagram or Twitter or Snapchat. I really don't know, because I forget that that's even a thing. But really, it doesn't matter if Doc has them or not, in his Twitch account, because there's copies of these transcripts out there, alright? Hell, his fucking lawyers had to use them because, again, Doc has stated that these were used in court to prove that no wrongdoing was ever shown. Meaning, whether or not these are erased on his account doesn't matter. His lawyers must have a copy of those transcripts. Hell, Twitch must have a copy of those transcripts somehow, especially if these were taken to many legal departments. So, where are they? The truth is, ladies and gentlemen, we're never going to get those transcripts. Doc is never going to do it. And at the end of this whole little response, he makes it where the ball is in Twitch's court, all right? Twitch has to be the one to provide them. They have to be the ones to prove themselves innocent, even though, really, it's Doc. Doc is the one claiming he's innocent, yet he shows no evidence. And this is the most frustrating thing about this. You can't trust anyone in this. You can't trust the people who leaked this. You can't even trust this fucking idiot, by the way, who, by the way, he knew for years but didn't say anything until now. Just take a look at this. You can't even trust Doc himself. Hell, you can't even trust Twitch. Twitch is a horrendous fucking company that will soon be in the ground in a couple years. So really, that's the thing. This story has many holes in it, and I don't think we'll ever get the truth, all right? Until we see those transcripts, I can't say that Doc is innocent. I'm sorry, but there isn't. Yes, there's evidence to suggest that Twitch definitely mishandled the situation, and it could be a possibility that they blew this out of the water than it should have been. But again, we don't really have evidence for that. And also, this whole supposed, person that worked for Twitch with Doc, misrepresenting him or leaving out of stuff, where are the messages between those guys? If this guy really screwed you over, let's see those messages as well. Let's see him acting like a dick to you, leaving you out of stuff, purposely screwing you over. And the fact that he was the one that, basically banned you. Where is the evidence? Truth is, we'll never get it. And that's how the situation is going to be for the time being. All right? I don't see Twitch responding to this. And I don't think Doc is going to give any more. He says he has more, but he's not going to release it. He's smart enough to know that there's enough doubt in his favor that he can continue having his career. He can continue doing with his own thing, playing games, making money off of that. He's going to reapply for monetization back on his YouTube channel in a couple days. We'll see how that goes. And after that, things will be back to normal. Granted, he probably won't play with other, your favorite gaming content creators, but at the end of the day, as long as he's making his money, nobody cares. He doesn't care. He's making money. His life is all good now. So yeah, with that being said, thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to check out my other videos. And with that being said, I am out.